All right, class, today we're going to be rounding to the nearest 100. So say we have the number 276. When we rounded to the nearest 10, we were more concerned with the ones place. But when we're rounding to the nearest 100, we're going to now be more concerned with the tens place. And this is my hundreds place, my tens place, and my ones place. Now we are concerned with these two places. So now I'm going to ask myself, what two hundreds does 276 come between? That's going to be 200 and 300. My midpoint, which is the number that comes between the two, is going to be 250. And I'll put my midpoint. All right, so now I'm going to use my number line, and I'm going to make a good estimate guess of where I think 276 is. So I know it's going to be after my midpoint, but it won't be too close to 300. It should be somewhere around here. So I'm going to put 276. Now I can see that any number past my midpoint on this side is going to be rounded to this whole number here, which is 300. So 276 rounded to the nearest 100 is 300. All right, let's try another problem. Say we have the number 417. Again, we are concerned with the hundreds place and the tens place only, but mainly the tens place. And in my tens place, I have a 1. So 1 tells me that I'm rounding down. So we'll see how that goes. So if I draw my number line and I ask myself, 417 comes between which two numbers? That's going to be 400 and 500. I'm going to put my midpoint at 450. My midpoint is the number in between these two numbers, okay? All right, so now we're going to go ahead and plot the number 417. So 417 is going to be right over here. So I'm going to put my plot here, 417. 417 is closer to 400. So I know if I round 417 to the nearest 100, the answer will be 400. Let's try another number. Say I have the number 594. Again, we are concerned with the number in the tens place. When we are rounding to the nearest 100, I'm going to ask myself, 594 comes between which two hundreds? That's going to be 500 and 600. So as you know, the first thing we're going to do is find our midpoint. Our midpoint between 500 and 600 is 550. And we'll put that as my midpoint. Then I'm going to go ahead and plot number 594 on the number line, which if I had to do a good estimate, it would be somewhere way over here. And then I would plot my 594. You can then visibly see, we know our 9, we're going up, but you can also visibly see here on the number line that 594 is a lot closer to 600 than it is to 500. So if we round 594 as 100, it's going to be 600. All right, let's try our last one. Say we have the number 367. Again, we are more concerned with the number that's in the tens place because that's going to tell us if we're rounding up or down. So I see my number 6 here, so I know I'm going to be rounding up. Nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and draw my number line. I'm going to then ask myself, 367 comes between which two hundreds? That's going to be 300 and 400. I'm going to then mark my midpoint, which is 350 Your midpoint comes between both hundreds. We're going to plot our number 367. That's going to be somewhere close to here. We're going to plot 367. As we know, any number past the midpoint on the right side is going to go to the next whole number. So 367 is closer to 400 than it is to 300. So I'm going to put 367 rounded to the nearest hundred is 400.